Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I have a game of Windwalker, Frost Mage, Resto Druid versus a Mistweaver Monk, Windwalker DK. And I'm going to try to focus this video on healer swaps. Healer swaps doesn't necessarily mean you always kill a healer, but healer swaps means you go to the healer and you can get a lot of cooldowns, which opens up a lot of other opportunities within the game. So I'm going to go ahead and see if we can open healer right here, which means I kind of want to either sheep. If we're going to be opening healer with a paralyze, I either want to go for a sheep here on the Death Knight or on the Windwalker. So I'm setting my focus here to the Death Knight. I'm going to go for a sheep. Whether or not I land the sheep is irrelevant. It's whether or not I get that kick out of the way. So if I land the sheep, then he can't kick me on our opener. If I don't land the sheep, that means someone kicked me, which means I got a kick out of the way on my Arcane Tree, which means I can still do damage in the opener. So put the focus on the DK. I'll switch it to the monk because DK is a little out of line. Casting sheep. I got paralyzed. I just wait for the para to fade. We got that sheep. He can't kick me. So here in the opener, a lot of people ask how I'm doing my openers. My monk has a touch of death and a leg sweep. Here I can either do an orb, Comet Storm, Ice Nova, and spam Ice Lance, or I can do an Ebon Bolt into a flurry. We'll see which one I choose here. I Ebon Bolt and blink away, but the monk trinketed and ported behind the pillar. So I still have my Ebon Bolt and my orb available, okay? The monk trinketed, which means if we swap to him again with an orb, he could very, very well die. I don't have my Icy Veins available, but that's okay, because it pretty much, like, trading Icy Veins for a trinket in the opener is fine, because we can go back and swap to him again, and he shouldn't be able to live. So seeing that the monk has no trinket is very, very, very good. So I'm just doing damage here to Buffalo Bill, not really looking to kill him, kind of just, you know, you don't want to just sit there AFK and doing nothing, but we're pretty much sitting here AFK doing nothing. Nothing really matters right now. It's completely irrelevant that, you know, the damage we're doing. I'm just kiting to the corner, kiting to my Druid as much as I can. You don't want to stack on your Druid, however, because then the Windwalker can leg sweep you and double fist you guys. So stacking would be really, really bad. I'm casting, I guess I use my orb, so I'm casting a Blizzard to get it back on all the, like, the Army of Dead, and stuff like that, and I already have my orb back because there's so many pets. As you can see, I do have that orb available for this next burst here that we decided to go ahead and do on the healer. He paralyzed the healer, I sheep the monk, which opens us for a nice swap window. We get a leg sweep into a fist, into a belth, and the guy does live. We get cocoon. We didn't have an optimal damage rotation there, I don't think, or else he would have just died right there. Something must have happened. By the way, I'm playing with VENRUKI and Supatees, very fun guys to play with. We do overlap a little bit there with the overgrowth, the skin, and the ice block, but that's okay. We still have 40 seconds before this monk has another trinket available, so kind of just doing the same thing, kiting to a corner. I don't want to stack on my Druid, but my Druid and I can kind of play back a little bit. So my Druid wanted to, we could come over here to this pillar, or the pillar he's at is fine too. And I'm just pulling them as far away from the Mistweaver as I can. What that's allowing me to do is, by me running away from the Mistweaver, means the Mistweaver has to come in, which means he can, to heal, which means my monk can get a paralyze on him. So my positioning away from the Mistweaver is very important. If I was just next to a pillar, the Mistweaver would be healing around the pillar over and over. But since I'm dragging them out in the open, the Mistweaver comes out, and that means we can paralyze him into a swap. So we have 18 seconds for this trinket, 18-second window to kill this guy. We get a paralyze into a leg sweep. I throw out my orb, do my Comet Storm, Ice Nova. We get a Fist of Fury. My Druid actually vortexes him back into the orb, and the Mistweaver does go down. So those were 3 consecutive healer swaps. First swap we got trinket. Second swap wasn't optimal, but wasn't optimal damage, but we got like monk bubble and stuff like that. And third swap he went down. So that's pretty cool. Okay guys, so jumping into this next game, we are fighting an Arsham Feral Demo Lock, same comp, and we love going our healers. So in the opener here, we want to go healer, and like I said, going healer doesn't mean you have to go healer for the rest of the entire game, it just means you can get a lot of cooldowns going healer. So go ahead and sheep the lock. So always in our openers, we want to paralyze the guy that we're on. When you're playing Windwalker Mage, it's good to paralyze the guy that you're on, simply to keep him still, make sure he can't move, make sure you can't apply Earth Shield or a pre-Earthen Shield totem or anything like that. So you paralyze the guy you're on and set up with a touch of death. I went ahead and sheeped the Warlock, and he actually has adaptation for that sheep, but I didn't notice, and I already started casting my Ebon Bolt. I Ebon Bolt and orb into this guy, so I'm going pretty much all in with this. Comet Storm, Ice Nova, spam Ice Lance. I threw my Belf in there, and he gets to 3% before he gets that Link off. So it kind of looks like a bad opener, right? Because I used my orb and I used my Ebon Bolt, but they all three have no trinket. Locke has no adaptation, rather, and the Feral and the Shaman have no trinkets. That leads us to so many opportunities here for this next go. So I'm just going to cast Blizzard on all the pets, try to get my orb back as fast as I can for this next go. If I look at all those imps just taking that Blizzard, I already have another orb. So I'm like, hey, Ven, dude, I already have another orb. So we're kind of talking right now. We can either go Shaman, Feral, or Locke. Demo Locks are a little tanky, and I think we kind of decide on going Feral here. So I'm going to try to get a Sheep on the Shaman. I get a Blink Sheep onto the Shaman. So the Shaman is full sheeped right here. I actually counterspell the Warlock as well. So we have 2 people CC'd. And now we have the Fist of Fury coming in on the Feral Truths. And now we have a Sheep Shaman, Fist on the Feral, counterspell the Lock. That's always kind of your goal in any comp as a mage. You want to have some type of cross CC when you're going for your kills, or else you're just going to get feared. You're going to get, the Shaman's going to heal. The Feral's going to go bear form. If you don't have this type of CC, you're not going to actually land a kill against a good team. So go ahead and pop my orb down, Comet Storm, Ice Nova, and the guy quickly goes down. So, open Shaman, got a bunch of trinkets, got a bunch of cooldowns, got nice triple CC, went to the Feral, and he easily went down. Alright, jumping into this last game, we have a BM Hunter, Havoc Demon Hunter, and a Mistweaver. Not a super popular comp, but I have fought it a few times, sometimes with Marks or Survival as well. Once again, I want to try to theme this video on healer swaps. So, one punch, this guy, I actually got found out, so that kind of sucks, but I Nova this Demon Hunter, and I'm trying to get some type of CC. I juke the kick and I sheep the Hunter. So here we have a Nova on the Demon Hunter, and a sheep on the normal Hunter, the BM Hunter. We really want to go here onto the healer. As always, we get a paralyze on the healer before we go. The bash landed on the Demon Hunter, but he did have adaptation for that bash. Here we have Touch of Death, Orb, Normal Rotation, Comet Storm, Ice Nova, and we get Trinket and Cocoon, Demon Hunter adaptation, bunch of cooldowns here. Okay, the Hunter still has a Trinket. The Demon Hunter still has all of his defensive, so we're kind of thinking, okay, we'll just swap back to the Monk and kill him then. I do get a full sheep on the Monk, so we're doing some decent damage, and this isn't really to do much, it's just kind of to scare them. So when I get a full sheep on the Monk, it's just to bait them a little more defensively. It's maybe to bait them to use, you know, like a pet sack, or, you know, something, some minor cooldowns to try to peel us so we don't actually get to kill them. But we don't really have any huge intentions of killing. As you can see, I'm always keeping this Blizzard down as often as I can to get my orb back, because I want my orb for our next go on the Monk. I do have my orb back now. I call that to my Monk, and I go ahead and sheep the Demon Hunter, and we paralyze the Monk. Okay, and I have my orb available. So I blink over here, I sheep the Hunter, because my sheep was only half. So the ideal setup is sheep the Demon Hunter, have my Druid clone on the sheep so he can't be kicked, and then switch my sheep to the Hunter. The clone never ended up landing, but that's okay. I sheep the Hunter, and he trinkets that. So what I want you guys to focus on is during our healer swaps, there's a lot going on behind the scenes with cross CC on the other two. It's not just go, it's, you know, sheep and then go, clone and then go, bash and then go. Even if you're forcing trinkets, well, then you're forcing trinkets, and it allows you much later in the game to, you know, have other swap opportunities if you don't manage to kill the guy. But here I'm going to do the standard damage cooldowns: Orb, Comet Storm, Ice Nova, Ice Lance into a Belf, and the guy goes down. So that's the video, guys. I hope you liked it. We fought this team before, and he's playing Relentless. We just killed him in the opener. I didn't want to include that game. I wanted to include the game where we had to go and then swap back after he trinketed with some CC. But anyways, guys, this is the video. I hope you liked it. Thumbs the video up. Once again, if you like this style of videos, I saw in the last video you guys commented saying you just freaking loved it. Thumbs the video down if you didn't like it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see for next time. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!